Hello and a warm welcome to the Business News Summary on Independent Television Abuja. I am Ikiru Obuli. There was panic at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on Sunday evening when the tire of an Air Peace aircraft blew off and made a loud sound while it was already taxiing for takeoff on the runway. For this and more news on business, let's join Adeze Uche.
There was panic at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on Sunday evening when the tire of an Air Peace aircraft blew off and made a loud sound while it was already taxiing for takeoff on the runway. It was gathered that passengers on the aircraft who were heading to Benin from Abuja were terrified by the incident, as they stated that the pilot struggled to control the airplane before it was eventually towed to a safe location at the NAIA. Report says that it was Boeing 737 aircraft belonging to Air Peace that was involved in the incident, which happened around 5:40 p.m. at the Abuja airport on Sunday. Reports from Nigerian Interbank Settlement System have indicated that Nigerian Electronic Payment Services recorded transactions worth 56.85 trillion naira from January to September 2018. The report obtained by journalists showed an increase of 16.4 trillion naira when compared to the 40.45 trillion naira that was recorded in a corresponding period of 2017. The report showed that most of the electronic transactions were done through NIBSS instant payments, point of sale, automated transfer machines, mobile money, electronic bill payment, and web payment.
The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency (PPPRA) has said that it observed a downward trend in the expected open market price of petrol to be below the government-approved pump price of 145 naira per litre due to the recent plunge in the price of crude oil in the international market. Let's join Blessing Omoru for this and more news on business.
The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency (PPPRA) said it has observed a downward trend in the expected open market price of petrol to be below the government-approved pump price of 145 naira per litre due to the recent plunge in the price of crude oil in the international market. The agency said that it was expected that over-recovery could be witnessed if this trend continues, and thus will enable other marketers commence importation of PMS. The PPPRA was reacting to reports that petrol subsidy has hit 2.43 billion naira and that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) had taken over calculation from the PPPRA. The plan to relocate the corporate headquarters of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria may soon come to fruition, as the federal government has made budgetary provision of 390 million naira for the completion of the project. This is coming amidst mixed feelings in the aviation industry over the insistence by the government to relocate the headquarters of the agency. Minister of State for Aviation Adi Sirika had in July last year inaugurated a project team for the construction of the proposed new office complex and staff quarters for FANN in Abuja, the authority in which the manager of over 20 airports across the country has been operating without a befitting headquarters. Its corporate head office in Lagos was partly gutted by fire in April 2017, thus prompting the authority to get serious with constructing a befitting headquarters building. However, the move to have a befitting headquarters, as laudable as it is, according to aviation stakeholders, has come with mixed feelings, as the project would be sited in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, instead of Lagos, where 80% of aviation stakeholders and companies reside.
The Federal Executive Council Wednesday approved contracts in the power, aviation, road and petroleum sectors totaling over 34 billion naira. State House correspondent Ikara Atara reports that Council approved a new national draft policy and framework for the maintenance of government buildings and infrastructure.
Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting commenced slightly late due to the President's inauguration of the Technical Advisory Implementation Committee on the proposed new national minimum wage. That notwithstanding, the meeting was a lengthy one lasting for about 5 hours. Briefing journalists after Council, the Minister of State for Aviation, Mr. Hadi Sirika, says Council approved an aviation contract worth about 1.652 billion naira.
The procurement and installation of the second phase of controller pilot data link communication for the Kano Flight Information Region. Within the Kano Flight Information Region, we have Abuja Airport and Lagos. The total contract sum is 5,403,271 United States dollars, which is equivalent to Naira 1,652,320,271 and 80 kobo.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Rajiv Fashola, says Council approved 2 roads and 2 power sector contracts.
The Sharada Madobi Dongara Road in Kano, 2.607 billion, 24 months. The new Busa to Kayama Road, linking Niger and Kwara states, 23.8 billion. Third procurement that was approved was additional works to complete the 330 kV Mando substation and 3 double circuit transmission line at the revised cost of 923,572 euro.
Petroleum Minister of State, Mr. Ibe Kachiku, in his brief, says a pipeline contract was approved by Council while another was varied.
An EPCI contract, which is engineering, procurement, construction, and installation contract for the 12-inch by 6-inch Okboho Okono flexible pipelines in OML 119, which was awarded to Mrs. National Oil Vaco Completion and Mekot Nigeria, a consortium of 2 companies. Total contract sum was for 3.7 billion and roughly about $37 million.
Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, briefed on Council's approval of 4 new private universities. From the Asarok Presidential Villa, I'm Iharo Atta, ITV News, Abuja.
The bears at the Nigerian Stock Exchange continue to dominate trading for the 5th trading day in 2018, with the crucial market indicators declining further by 1.20%. Adeze Oche has this and more news on business.
The bears at the Nigerian Stock Exchange continue to dominate trading for the 5th trading day in 2019, with the crucial market indicators declining further by 1.20%. Specifically, the All Share Index, which opened at 30,400.28 shared to 364.13 points, or 1.20% to close at 30,400.28 recorded on Monday. Similarly, the market capitalization lost 136 billion naira, or 1.20% to close at 11.200 trillion naira, compared with 11.336 trillion naira achieved on Monday. A breakdown of the price movement table indicates that 28 stocks recorded price depreciation, while 12 equities posted price appreciation. Finally, on business news, the United Nations has said that Nigeria lost an estimated $2.8 billion in revenues in 2018, mainly due to maritime and oil-related crimes. This is contained in a report by the Secretary General of the World Body, Antonio Guterres, on the activities of the UN Office for West Africa and the Sahel. Between January 1 and November 23, 2018, there were 82 reported incidents of maritime crime and piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. The country resisted recession in 2017, due largely to a rebound in oil production and increase in fiscal expenditure. Prospects are also demonstrated by a stable foreign exchange rate for importers and exporters, convergence of the parallel and official exchange rates, improved foreign exchange reserves, decreasing inflation and improving oil prices, all paving the way for output recovery.
Time for a quick break now. When we return, the business news summary continues. Please stay with us.
Independent Television is live 24 hours on Go TV, channel 107, Star Times, channel 130. And now you can watch from any part of the world on Roku TV, Smart TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV for your favorite programs, news, current affairs, and lots more. You don't want to miss our objective and balanced reportage, entertainment, and sports. Now follow us via our social media channels on Twitter at ITV Radio NG. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ITV Radio NG. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/ITV Radio NG. Visit our website for more news stories and lots more, itvradioNigeria.com. Watch ITV via live streaming on the internet, itvradioNigeria.com/live, and click on the TV stream option. Also remember to visit your mobile app store and download the ITV app so you can watch on the go. Independent television, certainly the best.
You're welcome back to the Business News Summary on Independent Television, Abuja. To other reports, the federal government says it remains committed to rebuilding Nigeria's infrastructure that will ease the movements of goods and services as a means of spurring economic activities throughout the country. This was the submission of the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, and her Power Works and Housing counterpart, Babatunde Raji Fashola, at the presentation of a 100 billion naira sovereign to cook bond check for the rehabilitation of 28 roads in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. ITV's finance correspondent Gabriel Kumar reports that 642.69 kilometers of road is expected to be covered by the funds.
Nigeria's budgets have always been in deficit. This necessitates the need to borrow to fund government's critical infrastructural projects. After its first successful sale of bonds to raise 100 billion naira, the federal government in December 2018, through the Debt Management Office, floated another Sukuk bond. The offer was oversubscribed at 132.2% to the tune of 132.20 billion naira. It is meant to be used for road construction across the nation. The ministers at the handing over ceremony of the dummy check of 100 billion naira sovereign Sukuk fund were unanimous that construction and rehabilitation of major economic roads will bridge infrastructural gap and spur economic activities.
The proceeds will be used to further support budgeted capital spending for 2018. The construction and rehabilitation of 28 key economic roads across the 6 geopolitical zones of our country. Each of the 6 political zones has an equal allocation of 16.67 billion naira. The roads will ease commuting. The roads will spur economic activities across our country and further close our infrastructure gap.
Roads are coming. So those are assets that will enable business, that will enable transport, that will enable movement of goods and services, and assets that will last 25, 30, 40 years. This is a good investment to make. So for those who ask, why are we borrowing? We are borrowing to build at today's prices assets that will last us for another 30 years. When, if we wait, it will be more expensive to build.
The visibly elated Minister of Works, Housing and Power, Babatunde Fashola, SAN, reiterated government's resolve to build infrastructure which has an enormous benefit for all sectors.
The whole economy benefits from this. In closing, the manufacturers of bitumen are waiting, the manufacturers of cement and steel are waiting. This is how building drives an economy. And of course, the most important people to us, the people who we have ignored as a nation, builders, artisans, laborers, they are also waiting.
The check is then handed to the minister in charge of works. The 6 geopolitical zones are expected to get 16.7 billion naira each for 642.69 kilometers of road network across the country. Gabriel Kuma, ITV News, Abuja.
Data obtained from the Debt Management Office has shown that Nigeria's total debt now stands at 22.43 trillion naira, Oluwatoyin Yusuf has this and more news on business.
Debt Management Office have shown that Nigeria's total debt now stands at 22.43 trillion naira. According to the DMO, the nation's total debt as of September 30, 2018 stood at 22.43 trillion naira. As of June 2015, the country's total debt stood at 12.12 trillion naira. This means that the country's total debt has risen by 10.31 trillion naira or 85.06%. Of the total debt, the external component of both the federal government and state government debt, including that of the Federal Capital Territory, stood at $21.59 billion. A report released by the United Nations Secretary General's office in New York has shown that Nigeria lost estimated revenue of $2.8 billion in 2018 as a result of crude oil and maritime crimes. The report revealed that maritime crime, including piracy, dominated in the coast of West Africa and posed a big threat to peace and development in the region. The report also noted a rise in the drug trade in the region. Part of the report read, maritime crime and piracy off the coast of West Africa continue to pose a threat to peace, security and development in the region. Oil-related crimes resulted in the loss of nearly $2.8 billion in revenue last year in Nigeria. According to government figures, the report noted that between January 1 and November 23rd, there were 82 reported incidents of maritime crime and piracy in the Gulf of Guinea.
And up next is the business news reports from Friday.
This is according to data contained in the Nigerian Treasury Bills Issue Program for the first quarter of 2019, posted on the bank's website on Tuesday. The Apex Bank said it would raise 823.43 billion naira from rollover programs with a maturity period ranging from 1 to 3 years. According to the document, 91 days bill worth 51.46 billion naira will be rolled over, together with 182-day bills worth 164.92 billion naira and 364 days bill worth 607.05 billion naira. The Apex Bank also said that 985.93 billion naira worth of treasury bills would mature during the same period. They are in 91 days, 182-day and 364-day papers worth 559.02 billion naira, 284.84 billion naira and 678.06 billion naira respectively. Meanwhile, telecommunications firm MTN Nigeria Communications Limited said on Thursday that it had reached an agreement with the Central Bank of Nigeria over the $1.8 billion being demanded from it by the Apex Bank. The $1.8 billion demanded by the CBN followed alleged forex remittance infraction by the MTN. Rather than yield to the demand, MTN, through its lawyer, Chief Wale Olanipekun-San, sued the CBN and the Attorney General of the Federation before the Federal High Court in Lagos. In the suit filed before Justice Saliu Saidu, the telecoms firm challenged the powers of the defendant to make the monetary demand from it and prayed the court to restrain them from coming after it. When they returned to the court on Thursday, Olanipekun said his client had finally reached an agreement with the CBN. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation on Thursday announced its readiness to implement an effective commercial framework that would halt the export of propane and butane, which are major components in the production of liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas. NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Ndu Ugamadu, said the move to stop the export of propane and butane, which is anchored by the Crude Oil Marketing Division of the corporation, would enable the oil firm to boost the supply of LPG to the domestic market, thereby leading to a natural downward slide in the price of the product across the country.
And that has been the business news summary on Independent Television Abuja. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Nkiro Ogui. See you next time.